The prohibition of pig consumption in ancient Israel has intrigued historians, theologians, and anthropologists alike. This dietary restriction is mentioned in several biblical texts, but its origins and purposes are subjects of debate. The pig, considered unclean, is central to Jewish dietary laws. These laws, known as kashrut, define permissible animals. The pig, despite having a split hoof, does not chew the cud, rendering it unclean. This classification has shaped Jewish cultural and religious identities. Archaeological evidence suggests this practice predates the Torah. It may have been a cultural norm later codified in religious texts. The reasons involve health, purity, social control, and identity. Theories range from ritual purity and health to associations with pagan rituals. Together, these theories offer a richer understanding of its role in ancient Israelite society. The scriptural basis for the prohibition of pig consumption is rooted in two key biblical texts: Leviticus chapter 11 verse 7 and Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 8. These passages explicitly declare the pig as an unclean animal, unsuitable for consumption by the Israelites. The rationale given in these texts is based on specific anatomical features. The pig, while possessing a split hoof, fails to chew the cud, a requirement for an animal to be considered clean. Leviticus chapter 11 verse 7 states, "And the pig, though it has a divided hoof, does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you." Similarly, Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 8 reiterates this prohibition, emphasizing the need for Israelites to adhere to these dietary laws as a means of maintaining ritual purity. The Hebrew term tama, tame, used in these contexts, conveys a sense of impurity or uncleanness, which encompasses both physical and spiritual contamination. By adhering to these dietary restrictions, the Israelites were able to reinforce their identity as a chosen people, distinct from surrounding nations. The biblical ban on pig consumption is more than a mere dietary guideline. It is a symbol of the covenant between God and the Israelites. Archaeological investigations have unearthed evidence that suggests the practice of avoiding pig consumption among the Israelites predates the formal codification of this prohibition in the Torah. Excavations in regions like Canaan and the Philistine city of Gath reveal a notable absence of pig remains in Israelite settlements, indicating a pre-existing cultural norm. This evidence dates back to around 1100 BCE, significantly earlier than the compilation of the Torah around 500 BCE. The presence of pig remains in nearby Philistine and Canaanite sites suggests that the Israelites were already distinguishing themselves through their dietary practices. This distinction may have been a means of reinforcing ethnic and cultural identity in a diverse and often hostile environment. The absence of pigs in Israelite archaeological sites raises intriguing questions about the origins of this practice. The codification of this practice in the Torah may have served to formalize and rationalize an already established tradition, lending it divine authority. Understanding this background allows us to appreciate the multifaceted nature of the prohibition and its enduring impact on Jewish identity. The influence of Egyptian cultural practices on Israelite dietary laws provides another layer of context for the prohibition of pig consumption. Ancient historians like Xenophon and Herodotus documented the Egyptian aversion to pigs, noting that they were considered unclean and associated with chaos and disorder in Egyptian mythology. Herodotus, in his histories, observed that Egyptians avoided contact with pigs, particularly shunning them during religious rituals. This cultural disdain for pigs may have influenced neighboring peoples, including the Israelites, who spent a significant period in Egypt according to biblical tradition. The Israelites' exposure to Egyptian customs and beliefs could have reinforced their own dietary restrictions. The Egyptian connection is further supported by the symbolic associations of pigs with negative traits in Egyptian culture. The god Set, a deity associated with chaos, was often depicted with pig-like features. The similarities between Egyptian and Israelite prohibitions highlight the interconnectedness of ancient Near Eastern societies and the complex interplay of cultural and religious influences. One of the primary explanations for the prohibition of pig consumption in ancient Israel is the concept of ritual purity. The Torah's dietary laws are deeply rooted in the idea of maintaining purity and distinguishing between the holy and the profane. The classification of animals based on specific characteristics reflects a broader system of symbolic boundaries. In this context, The prohibition of pigs can be seen as part of a divine pattern, where animals are categorized according to their adherence to certain physical criteria. The failure of pigs to chew the cud despite having split hooves sets them apart as a deviation from the ideal form of clean animals. This deviation is symbolic of impurity and disorder, which the Israelites sought to avoid in their quest for holiness. By adhering to these laws, the Israelites demonstrated their commitment to living in accordance with divine will, reinforcing their identity as a people set apart for a special purpose. The theory of ritual purity provides a compelling framework for understanding the pig prohibition. The theory that the prohibition of pig consumption was motivated by health concerns, particularly the risk of trichinosis, was popularized in the 19th century. Trichinosis is a parasitic disease contracted from eating undercooked pork, leading some to speculate that ancient dietary laws were implemented to protect the community from such dangers. However, this health-based explanation has largely been dismissed by modern scholars. The Torah does not explicitly mention health as a rationale for its dietary laws, and other animals capable of transmitting diseases were not similarly banned. Moreover, the methods of food preparation and cooking in ancient times were likely sufficient to mitigate such risks. The health theory fails to account for the continued prohibition of pigs long after the risk of trichinosis became negligible due to advances in agriculture and food safety. While health concerns may have played an incidental role in shaping dietary practices, they do not provide a comprehensive explanation for the pig prohibition. The persistence of the taboo throughout history indicates that other factors, such as cultural identity and religious principles, held greater significance in maintaining this dietary restriction. Another perspective on the prohibition of pig consumption in ancient Israel involves its association with pagan rituals. In many ancient Near Eastern cultures, pigs were used in sacrificial ceremonies and religious festivals. The Israelites' abstinence from consuming pigs could be seen as a deliberate rejection of these pagan practices, reinforcing their distinct religious identity. The prophet Isaiah in Isaiah 65 condemns the Israelites for participating in pagan rituals, including those involving pig consumption. This association with idolatry and false worship could explain the strong aversion to pigs in Israelite society. Some scholars suggest that dietary laws served as a means of regulating community behavior and reinforcing social hierarchies. By adhering to specific dietary restrictions, the Israelites demonstrated their allegiance to religious authorities, thereby consolidating power and maintaining order. These theories highlight the multifaceted nature of cultural practices and the interplay between religion, society, and identity. Together with other explanations, they contribute to a broader understanding of this enduring taboo. Throughout history, the prohibition of pig consumption has emerged as a potent symbol of Jewish identity. From the Second Temple period onwards, abstaining from pork became a marker of Jewish distinctiveness and resistance against foreign influence. This symbolism persisted even as external threats to Jewish culture and religion evolved. During the Talmudic period, the pig was referred to as Devar Acher, the other thing, underscoring its status as a symbol of otherness and impurity. This linguistic avoidance reflects the deep-seated aversion to pigs within Jewish culture, where the animal came to embody everything contrary to Jewish values and beliefs. Despite such hostility, the continued rejection of pig consumption served as a form of cultural resistance, reinforcing Jewish identity in the face of external pressures. Even in modern times, the pig remains a powerful symbol in Jewish culture. The prohibition of pigs, therefore, transcends its origins as a dietary law, becoming a defining feature of Jewish identity and a testament to the resilience of cultural traditions. The prohibition of pig consumption in ancient Israel is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that cannot be fully explained by any single theory. Biblical mandates, historical practices, cultural influences, and symbolic meanings all contribute to our understanding of this ancient taboo. Together, they form a tapestry of religious, social, and cultural factors that shaped Israelite identity. While the theories of ritual purity, health concerns, pagan associations, and social control each offer valuable insights, it is only through their collective consideration that we can appreciate the full significance of the pig prohibition. This dietary restriction was not merely a matter of religious observance, it was an integral part of defining what it meant to be a member of the Israelite community. The enduring nature of the pig prohibition, from its origins in ancient Israel to its role in contemporary Jewish culture, underscores its importance as a symbol of identity and resistance. In exploring the prohibition of pig consumption, we gain a deeper understanding of the interplay between religion, culture, and identity. This ancient taboo continues to resonate, offering insights into the values and beliefs that have defined Jewish communities throughout history.
The Jewish tradition has long forbidden eating pork. This prohibition is deeply rooted in religious texts and cultural practices that have been passed down through generations. This dietary rule, like many others, has puzzled people for centuries. It's not just a simple matter of preference or taste, it's a complex issue intertwined with faith, identity, and history. Why would a religion ban something so many others enjoy? This question has intrigued scholars and lay people alike, leading to various interpretations and theories. The answer, like most things in history, is complex. It involves understanding the social, religious, and environmental contexts of ancient times. It's a story of ancient empires, powerful priests, and the birth of a new identity. The prohibition of pork was part of a broader set of dietary laws that helped define the community. Many theories attempt to explain this ancient taboo. Some suggest it was due to health concerns, while others point to symbolic reasons. Some believe it was a way for the early Israelites to set themselves apart. By following unique dietary laws, they could maintain a distinct identity. Others see it as a rejection of practices common in other cultures. By avoiding pork, they could distance themselves from neighboring societies and their customs. To understand, we must travel back in time to ancient Egypt, where this story begins. It was here that the early Israelites first encountered the cultural and religious influences that would shape their own practices. The ancient Egyptians held strong beliefs about purity and cleanliness. Their priests, powerful figures in society, followed strict rules about food and hygiene. Pigs, often associated with dirt and disease, were seen as unclean. Eating pork was taboo, especially for the priestly class. These priests saw their bodies as temples, requiring purification through specific rituals and diets. This emphasis on cleanliness wasn't merely about physical health, it was deeply connected to their religious beliefs. During the reign of Akhenaten, Egypt underwent a dramatic religious revolution. This pharaoh challenged the traditional pantheon of gods, promoting the worship of a single deity, Aten, the sun god. This shift towards monotheism had a profound impact on Egyptian society. It challenged established religious practices, including dietary customs. While the exact connection remains unclear, some scholars speculate that the prohibition against pork might have been strengthened during this period. Section 4, The Birth of a People Choosing Identity. The early Israelites, escaping slavery in Egypt, were deeply influenced by their experiences. Their journey through the desert was not just a physical escape, but also a profound transformation of their collective identity. They adopted and adapted various Egyptian customs and beliefs, shaping their emerging identity. This cultural exchange was a crucial part of their evolution, as they selectively integrated aspects that resonated with their own values and aspirations. The prohibition against pork, already present in Egyptian priestly traditions, might have resonated with their desire for a distinct cultural identity. This dietary restriction was more than a mere rule, it was a statement of separation and uniqueness. By abstaining from pork, the Israelites differentiated themselves from their former captors and the surrounding cultures. This act of abstention was a deliberate choice to forge a new path, one that was distinct and reflective of their newfound freedom. This dietary law became a powerful symbol of their unique relationship with their God and their journey towards nationhood. It was a testament to their resilience and their commitment to building a distinct and enduring cultural identity. Section 5, The Pig, a symbol of difference. The Jewish prohibition of pork, therefore, likely emerged from a complex interplay of factors. Egyptian religious practices, which held the pig in a negative light, the influence of the priestly class, who sought to distinguish their community from others, and the Israelites' own search for identity all played a part. This search for identity was crucial in a time when many cultures were vying for dominance and recognition. This taboo, enshrined in the Torah, became a cornerstone of Jewish religious and cultural identity. The Torah being the central reference of the Jewish faith, it serves as a reminder of their past, their beliefs, and their struggles. Celebrations and rituals often reflect this deep-seated tradition and their enduring commitment to a tradition that has survived for millennia. This commitment is evident in the way Jewish communities have preserved their customs and teachings. The story of the pig, therefore, is not just about food, but about the intricate ways cultures evolve and define themselves throughout history. It highlights the importance of symbols in shaping cultural and religious identities.